Good morning. Welcome to Unity of the Valley. Please rise and join us in singing I Am Opening. I am opening for the love to flow. I am opening to become a glow. I am opening. Yes, I know I am here to bring the light. I am opening for the love to flow. I am opening to become a glow. I am opening. Yes, I know I am here to bring the light. I am here to bring the light. I am here to bring the light. Yes, you are.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. How are y'all today? Is that really loud? If y'all wouldn't mind, let's take a deep breath together and center ourselves being present here together, soul to soul, heart to heart, God to God, knowing that all is well today. We are here to participate, to excite, to enjoy, to offer, to bless. Compassion, peace, love, and understanding to all we see and touch and feel today. Thank you, God, for this marvelous day, this wonderful day of joining together, connecting, engaging in spirit. As we go forth today, may this service be a blessing and everyone here be a blessing to each other. And for this, we give thanks and we say, amen, and so it is. And so it is.
Good morning, everyone. Let's begin our service by lighting the Christ candle. And Danica is going to come up here and to be joined afterwards by the other young people who are here. We light this candle just as a reminder that this light is always within us. I loved the line you wrote about, we are here to bring the light. And so Danica, you are helping us bring the light forward with intention to bless ourselves, each other, and our world. And so, thank you. When I asked who would like to light the candle, she raised her hand. I would. And it's so lovely to see that joy and enthusiasm, and we really appreciate your willingness to help us. Good job with the shoes, by the way. So we're going to bless Danica now with the words that are on your screen. Danica, you are a beautiful child of God, perfect in every way. You are loved unconditionally, just the way you are. And then it's easy to see that for Danica. Sometimes it's more difficult to see that for ourselves. But it's the truth. We are loved unconditionally just the way we are. We know each other and we love each other. So let's take this in for ourselves now. I am a beautiful child of God, perfect in every way. I am loved unconditionally, just the way I am. So, come on up. We get to see you before we sing you off to class.
light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
Thank you, Danica, Adele, Evie, and Crystal. I'm Carolyn Ranch, your service assistant this morning, and it's a joy to be with you. And for those of you who are watching at home, welcome. We're glad you can join us online. And on this beautiful day, it's wonderful to be together. We have our wonderful guest speaker this morning, Reverend Brock Ford. And he facilitated an amazing workshop a few months ago about LGBTQIA. That's a mouthful now. Plus, thank you. Even more joy. And he speaks the truth, and he speaks from his heart. And he is an official minister, and he's a good person. Wonderful, wonderful human being. There will be another opportunity to attend one of his workshops this August. It'll be a 2-hour workshop. The date is not set yet, but it will be called Navigating a Path of Diversity and Religion. And we all are aware that some religions in some places are really turning away from embracing diversity, and our wonderful, love-filled task is to stand for unity. That's our name, unity in all, seeing the Christ light in every person. And so I'm reminded of, and I've said this before, Anne Lamott's quote, "A lighthouse doesn't run around looking for ships in peril. A lighthouse stands in its place and shines its light." And that's who we are. Each one of us a lighthouse. So attend that workshop and gain some information and be with like-minded folks who want to learn more about supporting people who deserve and need our support. We have chaplains here this morning. Pat Flores is here to celebrate any special blessing that has come your way, or to pray with you for a special need that you're experiencing, or someone in your life is experiencing, or a beloved pet is experiencing. Pat is a beautiful prayer, and she has been especially trained to keep your concern confidential, and all you have to do is meet her up in front after the service and tell her you'd like to pray, and she will be there for you. And now we have our community highlights, just a few of those. Most of these are repeats. Mindfulness meditation class continues, and you are welcome to join that class still. It's open. Just contact the church office. It runs through June 29th, and it's 10:15 to 11 on Zoom. And then we have the Spiritual Classics Reading Room is doing The Mysteries of John by Charles Fillmore, who is very insightful and very smart and very difficult to read, in my opinion. And so it helps to study his book in communion with other people, to ask questions and take things apart gain a deeper understanding. And so they'll be using the book, Mysteries of John and the Bible. And that is at 1 p.m. on Zoom, Thursdays, beginning this Thursday. And then we have Lifeline screening happening also this Thursday in the Unity Hall. And there are flyers in the Great Hall if you'd like more information about that. And then Women of Unity would like you to know that they're taking a summer break. And Thursday, the 22nd, they're having lunch at Vacaville Cafe, just a nice social time. I looked that up online, and it looks like a fun place. I had never heard of it, known it existed, so it looks like something you'll want to check out if you're a woman. For this meeting, man, you can go anytime. And then July, there will be no meeting. Thursday, lunch at Vacaville again. And the address is 1010 Vacaville Circle in Vacaville. So I hope that you'll come and enjoy that. Our musician is John Shin, who's been here several times. We told him this morning, we said, "You're a regular. You're on our list." And he said, "Oh, I'm honored, but we're honored to have you here and enjoy your wonderful music." He writes many of his own songs. He's been sharing his spiritually uplifting music for over 30 years, which means I think he started when he was age 2. We're all young here. And we're very grateful that you are a regular, so thank you so much. And now we're going to say our statement of faith, and as always, I remind you, prayers can be so rote, we say them without really thinking or feeling them, but this is the core of who we are, knowing that there is only one presence, it's God, and God is all good all the time. No matter how things feel or how they look on the surface, there is no time in God's mind. It is all good. We are all one. And so we're going to repeat this prayer of faith together and mean it. The more we open to the words and the wisdom of this prayer, the deeper it becomes entrained within us. Together. There is only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life, God the good.
I understand you've met Daniel Nahmod. I've taken a liberty or two with one of his songs, so I'm sure he will allow me. It's called One Power. One power, one power, one power, one power, one power, one power. There's only one power invisible, yet you see it everywhere and every day. One power indescribable, yet we speak it with every word that we say. Mysterious until you know the truth. It's a power that's inside of me and you. Call it God, call it Spirit, call it Jesus, call it Lord, call it Buddha or Muhammad, angel wings or heaven's door. But whatever name you give it, it's one power, can't you see? It's the power of the love in you and me. One power, one power, one power. Speak so many languages, different cultures, different colors, different names. But the difference is only dangerous when we forget that in our hearts we're all the same. But we remember when we close our eyes and see the truth that brings together you and me. Call it God, call it Spirit, call it Jesus, call it Lord, call it Buddha or Muhammad, angel wings or heaven's door. It's your guidance, it's your wisdom, it's a still voice in your mind. It's the beauty of the universe, Mother Earth and Father Time. But whatever name you give it, it's one power, can't you see? It's a power of love in you and me. One power, one power, one power. One power, one power, one power.
John, that was beautiful. Thank you so much. And that goes really, really well. I don't know if you planned that or not, but that goes really well with what I'm going to talk about today. Thank you very much for that. Oh, good morning, everyone. Y'all, this seems really loud to me. Is that okay? We're good? It's okay. All right, good. Oh, I just want to look at everybody. Hi. Thank y'all for being here today and showing up to let me talk a little bit. So thank you. And thank you for allowing me to be here and share my experience of spiritual and ethical living as I see it and believe it. Spirituality and spirit and ethics, y'all, two little words, right? But they are huge, big meanings to them. Spirit and ethics. Spirituality, y'all, allows us to have a meaningful connection with something bigger than ourselves. Isn't that what we're looking for? We're wanting to know God, wanting to know spirit, something bigger. And I don't simply mean a higher power all the time or a divine intervention. It could be a philosophy. It could be a book. But spirituality puts us in that place. It puts us in the place that provides a perspective to recognize our life is a divine gift. Yes? With great value. We are a divine gift with great value. And it points us to life's greater purpose. It teaches us that everything is one. Everything is connected. Spiritual living, therefore, is moving through life with an awareness that we are part of the connected universality of it all, of everything around us. When we pray, when we go to church, when we read books or scriptures, we are seeking to know and to embrace spirit. But if we leave church, y'all, after we go to church and we're trying to embrace spirit, but if we leave church and start swearing at the traffic on the way home, or start complaining that our roommate didn't clean the kitchen once we get home, then we're not carrying spirit with us out there as we go. So we probably found a little bit of a temporary God fix, so to speak, and it made us feel better, and we left feeling really good. But then, y'all, as soon as we got out there, we returned to our regular life, our regular way of being. But when we're in a state of spiritual living, we hold on to that light, that spirituality that shines on us as we shine that light out. We carry that warmth and that spark with us, inside us. It's always right here. We often describe the kinds of activities that are indicative of spiritual living with terms like love, compassion, tolerance, forgiveness, humility, and we could just go on and on and on. And concern for others' well-being. That's a big one. Concern for others' well-being. And once I hear a list like that, y'all, I think, okay, hold on a little bit. That's a big order, right? It's a big order, moving through this erratic world in spirituality, behaving with tolerance and compassion, always, right? All the time. But I've got good news for you. It's a little bit easier than you might think, because the divine, however you experience it, it's seeking you also. It's trying to embrace you. Half the time, y'all, we just need to get out of the way. Do you ever feel like you're getting in your own way of receiving? Building spiritual strength and values activates our connection with Spirit and to God from within us, giving us the power we need to live an ethical life of purpose and fulfillment. So the title of my message is Spiritual and Ethical Living. The reason why I'm speaking about both is because ethical and spiritual living, I believe, go hand in hand like parent and child. Does that make sense? Spiritual living is a deeply expression of God. It speaks to us internally, in our hearts, in our minds, in our souls. Then ethical living, y'all, is the external expression of spiritual awareness and strength. And Carolyn, am I supposed to be watching that clock as well when you just put that there? We good? Tell me if I'm going too long or something. But at any rate, ethical living is so spiritual is the inside, right? Spiritual is what we're doing on the inside, trying to feel and know and be that Spirit of God. Ethical living is the external expression of our spirituality. It's how we project our spiritual growth outward and into the world. So if spiritual living happens personally, then ethical living is what we do every single day to people we meet, that we come in contact with. With our hands, y'all, our hands and our feet. Those are the actions of God. Yes? Somebody say amen. Okay, thank you. So to begin to live ethically in the world, it often requires spiritual work also. Accepting and embracing the truth of our oneness, thank you, our humanity, despite whatever differences there may be, or despite whatever differences we may share. Remember how I said that spiritual and ethical living are connected like parent and child? I said that the divine wants to embrace us too. It's right there just waiting for us to say yes to it. So if you can find it in yourself to live in a state of ethical behavior, even just a little bitty bit, y'all, smile when you go down the street at someone, show compassion to a stranger, help someone that maybe is struggling a little bit that you see outside without expecting a reward. And don't yell at the guy whose dog barks a lot. If you can find a way to embrace these simple, powerful, moment-to-moment ethics, Spirit will embrace you. Spirit envelops you. In your life, your spiritual life, y'all, it may just be the fertile soil in which your ethical behavior grows. Does that make sense? Your spiritual life helps you grow an ethical life. At least in my experience, I believe that to be very true. And I'm saying ethical behavior because, y'all, I know sometimes it's not always an easy thing to do and not something that we actually make a way of life. Sometimes you just have to go through the motions and believe that God's going to show up right where you are. Consider that an invitation to let God fill your heart. Fill it up to capacity with love and compassion so that when you go out into the world, it emanates from you. And the benefit of living ethical, y'all, is astounding. It grows our spiritual awareness. It teaches us that everyone is connected, as I said before, and as John's saying. And it teaches us empathy. It teaches us empathy. Ethical living contains the essence of compassion and the desire to alleviate suffering of others. and also to promote their well-being, not to just help them, but to support them in doing better, living their best life. So as well as ethical conduct is when we are refraining from causing harm to other people or their expectation of happiness as well. When we cultivate these values, y'all, we are living and growing spiritually in our heart, in our soul, and we are growing ethically in the world around us. And it's receiving what we're putting out. Does that make sense? Spiritual and ethical practice combined transforms and perfects us. We become better human beings, and that's when our unique light shines. We can walk out, and it's like an aura just going out there, shining to the whole world, to everyone that we encounter, leaving them with a blessing. On the flip side, though, it's not always bliss and happiness and joy. Spirituality also speaks to our difficult times, and sometimes to our worst moments. And I know that I've had them, you know. It's wonderful to stay in that path of spirituality where grace and peace and joy and happiness are just flowing, and you're in that path of grace. Sometimes things come up. Sometimes things happen and trigger you. And so it speaks to our pain and suffering also. It's the power that allows us to enjoy our best moments. And y'all, it's the power, it gives us the power to get through our worst moments. And the journey that led me to this message is one of spiritual suffering and spiritual transformation. The death of my older sister in 2018, and then a few months later, my mom, and a few months later, my dad. Y'all, it just sort of sent me in a little bit. And letting that grief process happen, immersing myself in it, not dealing with the world around me at the time, I came to an understanding of what was mine to do, what my true calling was, what my passion is, and how even in their deaths, I was being blessed to be able to bless other people. It's an amazing thing. Oh, get a little teary-eyed sometimes even thinking about it. But then, y'all, I heard Spirit tell me, you have to forgive. So I started forgiving everyone in my life that I could think of, going way back to childhood. And then I made some phone calls to people that were more recent, you know, and I asked for forgiveness. And I did that I made a list and did it with probably about 48 people that I could think about over my lifetime. And there's probably been a whole lot more that I upset or something, but I don't remember. But then I said, I forgive everyone whether they hear me or not. And I ask for forgiveness whether they hear me or not, because they'll feel it out in the Spirit. So I, at that moment, came to know my true calling. And y'all, I don't know how to describe it, but I was on my knees, and I had just sort of fallen down in my garage. It was 4 a.m. in the morning, and I just lifted my hands and said, God, I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to live without them. And in that split second, y'all, it was like a wind came in and wrapped me. And I don't know how to tell you how I heard the words, but I heard the words, you are ready. Go spread the message of love, compassion, tolerance, and forgiveness lead to understanding. And since that day, that's what I've been trying to do. And I don't always do it perfectly, and I'm a little country boy from Memphis, but I get out there wherever they'll let me talk. And I do that with the homeless on the street. We call them the unhoused now. But I spend a lot of time with that. But at any rate, I said yes to Spirit. I said yes to life. Get up. Let's get on with this life. And I was set free, y'all, and I felt more purpose and peace than I'd ever felt in my life. Miracles started happening. Things started happening. People coming into my life to support me, which actually led me to the seminary, to Emerson Theological Institute. And it was at the seminary I read a book by the Dalai Lama called Ethics for the New Millennium. Have y'all heard of that? It's an amazing book, y'all. It gave me the roadmap to connect even deeper into the consciousness of the divine and the power of knowing that all good and power are within me. My purpose is to support others in a deeper ethical and spiritual way that encourages, that loves, and to see the face of God in every single person that I see when I go down the street. And y'all, sometimes it takes an intentional effort to do that. But I intentionally, every single day, do that and try to find how I might put a smile on someone's face as they're walking by. So I made that conscious decision to live deeply in spiritual and ethical principles and to make eye contact, as I just said, with every single person. And y'all, sometimes people look at you like, why are you looking at me? Or why are you talking to me? And bless them, and I keep going. But it's growing up in the South, we spoke to everybody on the street. You just say hi to everybody. And out here, it's a little bit more different. They think you're a little bit weird, so I've been a little bit more careful with that. But because when I'm living in spiritual and ethical conduct, y'all, life is better. Amazing things happen. I just said that. A harmonious and fulfilling life happens. A harmonious and fulfilling life happens. And that's what I'm believing for every single one of you here today. And you're probably already living a wonderful and harmonious life because you're practicing the principles of spirituality and ethics and unity. But I want it to grow even bigger and burst out of us. And I'm believing that for every single one of us. Yes? Do you believe it for yourself? Amen. Because, y'all, we can make the world a better place. You know, that sounds like a little saying, but it's true. Every single one of us can make something in the world better for someone else and for ourselves. Because when we recognize spirit as our whole being, our heart, our mind, and our thoughts, y'all, that particular belief, when we believe that God is our whole being, that changes everything for us. Yes? It changes our actions and the way that we engage with people, no matter their political views, religious beliefs, or where they come from or what they look like. It becomes easy to see the divine in everyone, every single person walking down the street. It's easy. You just automatically see the face of God. So I suggest that we ask ourselves these questions as we move through our daily life, and especially at times of stress. Are they up? Oh, there they go. Am I behaving spiritually in this situation? Am I practicing what I know to be true for me? Not for Warren, not for Carolyn, but for me. Do I know what to be true for me spiritually? And am I walking the walk, as they so say? And y'all, even more importantly, along with those, and yes, we can offer tolerance and compassion. I talked about that. Ask questions. Seek to understand versus getting upset, right? Forgive versus blaming. Be mindful, no matter the label or difference, and create a safe space and a safe place of healing and connection. That's where healing happens. When we see and feel the Spirit of Divine working through us, we can take that moment to know that we are behaving in a way that aligns with God, with Spirit. And we can pause and remind ourselves that we can trust that this is our spiritual transformation time. This is a personal transformation for us, as well as what we're putting out into the world for others. So we learn the answers we seek. We claim a life of peace, a life of joy, a life of happiness. Peace, joy, happiness. Can you imagine your life being filled with that every second of every day? I want that. I'm striving and working towards that as well. And to me, the key to this particular enlightenment is uniting spiritual thought with ethical action. And y'all, when we exhibit this in times of adversity, really when we exhibit this in times of adversity, when faced with disagreements, we can offer tolerance. We can offer peace and forgiveness, seeking to understand, asking the questions, having a conversation versus an argument, or reacting, or saying hurtful words. Sometimes it's okay just to zip it up and just listen and be present for someone. One way to achieve this is to truly practice being present with one another. And y'all, that mindful act, that empathetic act, no matter the label or difference, creates the healing when we're present with someone. We hear about presence all the time, right? In unity. It's being with someone, not expecting anything. It's holding the space of love and compassion for them. And this is how we learn to navigate our life in a way that uplifts, encourages, and supports others in their time of need. It lifts them. It gives them some hope, perhaps. Sometimes it just takes a second. Passing someone on the street, first we connect through the eyes, then we can connect through the heart, and then we can connect through the soul, our God soul. Seeing the face of God, seeing the face of humanity. And in that brief moment, John, we are connected. We are one. So I ask you today, how are you showing up every day? How are you making a difference in the world? What would happen if you made a decision right now today to show up as your best self in this second and in every second and moment going forward? What would that look like and how would that feel to you? And so I encourage you to take your spiritual and ethical practice and put it into work today in the form of loving kindness. That's the easiest place we can start. Put your actions and words to the test. Does it bring about harmony for others? Does it hurt anybody? Is something I'm about to say? Think before you say something. Words are so important. Y'all, if you invite me back again, we'll talk about the I am message. I am. What are you putting your I am to? It's so important because words create our lives, right? And words also create or destroy someone else's life coming from our mouths. So I encourage you to extend grace into the here and now, right now, into your relationships with your family, your friends, your colleagues, and to everyone that you meet going down the street. And I support you living in spiritual and ethical behavior passionately and intentionally. Let love rise up in you. Let compassion flow outward from you. And see and feel and experience the humanity of all of us. You will be the conduit, the vehicle of transformation for others when we do that. I really like that. We can be the conduit, the vehicle of transformation for others. Remember that saying back when we were young? People watch what you do. What was that our grandmothers used to tell us? Behave what you're doing, what people are watching, or something like that. So it's sort of like that. How are you behaving? How are you affecting other people as well as you walk down the street? So in closing, I'm going to read just a short part of a long poem from the Dalai Lama. It really resonates with me, and I hope that you'll just take a deep breath and sort of, if you want, you can close your eyes, keep your eyes open. We're going to do a meditation also, but just a little bit of some positive words about this topic that the Dalai Lama stated. And he said, "May I always become, both now and forever, a protector for those without protection. May I be a guide for those who have lost their way. And may I be a sanctuary for those in danger, a lamp for those without a light, and a place of refuge for those who lack shelter. And may I be a servant and a support to all in need." Deep breath, everybody. So, you ready to put your spiritual and ethical hat on and go out into the world? Let me ask that again. Are y'all ready to put your spiritual and ethical hat and go out into the world and share it? Yes. 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 Thank you. Thank you. And so it is. That's my talk. And then, John, I think, thank you. John, I think you sing a little bit, don't you? There we go.
This is a little chant that I find helps ground that divinity within myself, and so I invite you to try it, and I pray it does the same.
if you're willing, just get comfortable. Know that you're safe in a warm and loving place with lots of wonderful people that love you. Thank you, John. So get comfortable with your feet grounded on the floor and know that you are valued here. And take a short, gentle breath with me. As we go into meditation, if you're willing, close your eyes and imagine a large white movie screen. Like you're in the theater and you see a big, large movie screen. As the movie starts, I invite you to see on that movie screen people that have hurt you during your lifetime. Maybe said mean things to you, or that you've had arguments with. See if you can get them up on that screen. Take a look at them. Now, imagine seeing the face of God as you look at them. The spirit of love, compassion. And can you see the humanity in them also? Another gentle breath in and out. You can wipe that slate, that screen, bring it back to being just white again. I want you to see your family members, those that you love, your family, up on that big white screen. And as you do, imagine seeing the face of God, the spirit of love, compassion. See their humanity in their face. Another gentle, sweet breath. Now, let that movie screen go back to just being big, white movie screen. Now, I want you to see your face on that big white movie screen. And again, imagine seeing the face of God in your face. The spirit of love. Compassion. And the humanity in your face. Knowing we are one. We are one spirit. Knowing we are one heart. Knowing we are one with God, one with divine, and one with all that is part of the all. Take this into your heart and be blessed. And so it is.
I am that I am. 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 I
Thank you. I was very moved by the talk, and I was thinking how powerful and how healing love is. And if you have a chance after the service to speak to Reverend Brock, you'll feel his love just being around him. It just emanates. And I feel that from you too when I'm up here. It's very healing for me to be up here and just being surrounded by the energy of your hearts. I am very grateful. It really makes a difference. So you do it. You do heal the world with your love. And it reminds me, I can do this more. Thank you. So much of it is just our attitude, isn't it? Just waking up in the morning. Oh, good. Today I get to love some more. And one way we get to show our love is by giving our offerings, our tithes, to this spiritual center. We don't put a lot of emphasis on the power of money in our own lives sometimes, but our facility depends on our generosity. And so there are so many ways to give. One is just texting, as it says on the screen here. Text the word give to the number there. Those of you who are watching online can just press the donate button. It's very easy. We appreciate your generosity in that way too. And of course, your checks and your cash are always welcome. So however you choose to give, know that you are sustaining the work of Unity of the Valley Spiritual Center. And our world needs us individually and as a community. We were born for this difficult time because our souls knew we could show up. And we are showing up at a time when the world has never needed us more. And we are strong together. So as the ushers come forward, we're going to bless the gifts and tithes with these very familiar words. And know that love is flowing through us as we give and opens our hearts to receiving as well. So together, God's love through me blesses and multiplies all that I am and have, all that I give and receive. I am grateful.
I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful, I am so blessed. I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful, I am so blessed, I am so grateful, I am so blessed.
We are so blessed by your beautiful voice and your wonderful guitar playing. And so the last task I have this morning is to affirm the blessings that we receive together by giving and receiving. And so let's just take a moment to feel the gratitude in our hearts. for what we have learned today, for all that we have learned in the past, and all that we are about to learn. We are growing together. We are co-creating with God a world that reflects greater unity, greater love, greater peace, greater empathy and understanding. We show up as people who will hold out our hand rather than point our finger. So thank you, God, for every opportunity to give and receive in love. And so it is. Let's stand now, and we don't have to join hands if you're not comfortable doing that. And we're going to sing our peace song.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, a peace that was meant to be, with God our Creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my solemn vow. Take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth.